And Norman, what I want to know is that you have just finished a documentary called The Final Fix about a remarkable new treatment for drugs addiction. And it's something very revolutionary. And I would like to start talking to you about this because I saw some of the things that are available for a man like me to understand what is that. And I was amazed because we are talking about a device that is not larger than a small cell phone that could be carried on the waist. And what he said there is that it's very useful or modern useful. It's something that could be bring freedom to lots of people involved with many addictions, alcohol, any kind of drugs, methamphetamine, heroin, and whatever you want to name.
Yeah.
And how do you explain that this little thing based on little shocks could produce this reaction in the brain in such a way that after suffering for many, many years, people could be freed from all these addictions? How it works?
Well, it doesn't work with shocks. Let me correct
Uh,
you there. The
uh,
interesting thing is, we have followed in what we might laughingly call Western civilization, we have followed certain paths. We chose chemistry over other forms of medicine. Chemistry
yeah.
is fine for medicine, but you do close your minds to other options. The latest growth medicine, I would say, if I can call it that, is electric medicine.
Mhm.
There's a great deal happening now with electrical stimulation, implants, and so on, that the traditional people would not look at because it didn't make sense when you measured against chemistry. So pharmaceuticals, a very important thing, this pharmaceuticals making their billions out of selling opioids and other drugs are doing
Mhm.
very nicely, doing extremely well financially on the system as it is now, which is you
Mhm.
replace your drug of addiction with another drug. You don't get off it. You just park
Mhm.
there. But that's what they'd like. If you come along and say, here is a medical device which does not use pharmacy, no drugs involved, which stimulates. You can go to sleep with this little attachment on. It doesn't hurt or feel anything, but it flutters slightly just behind the ear. It goes just a little, and then that dies down. In
Mhm.
5 days after using that, you will be healthy, fit, eating, sleeping. You will not have had cold turkey, those terrible things, the withdrawal symptoms. And when you have finished, 5 days later, you will have no more cravings ever. Now,
Mhm.
I look at that and I say, wow, if that really works, that's the best news for an awful lot of people I know. But if I'm not me, if I'm a pharmaceutical person or stuck in the pharmaceutical medical world that has gone on for the last many decades,
Mhm.
I would not want to know about it. I would
Yeah.
feel there could be a severe loss of profit, which there would be if this was taken on. Or I would feel, if I'm having a battle with the Scottish government at the moment, I would feel that it is the exactly opposite direction to where they are spending their billions with
Mhm.
addictions to try and keep people on their drugs and just stop them dying. I appreciate them stopping them dying. I do
Mhm.
not appreciate that after many attempts, they are still refusing to look at this film and consider the claims of this medicine. They will not do it, which I think is
Mhm.
a sign of guilt to start with. And you see me about to start a campaign that will embarrass the Scottish government into looking at the facts. I'm not saying buy it. I'm not saying tell me it's instantly fine. I'm saying look at it. Look at the evidence. These people getting off. Pardon?
Just try it.
Just try it. Just look at it. Explore it. They won't even watch the film.
Scientific about it. The same way they are with pharmaceutics. They should be
we've just had the worst. Yeah, we've just had in Scotland the worst drug figures ever, record-breaking. And the government is going into the pharmaceutical way to try and deal with that, and it hasn't worked and it isn't working.
Difference that we can see between Scotland and the other statistics in Europe. I was shocked with the difference. It's an epidemic that's going on there.
Yes, there are only 5 million people in Scotland. The government spends 9 billion, that was a B, 9 billion pounds a year on so-called drug and alcohol treatment. The results from that, in terms of success rate, are 3%. 3% success rate for 9 billion pounds in a country of 5 million people. The success rate, and I'm not selling this, I'm an independent filmmaker. I've just watched it work and told the truth. But I happen to know that the success rate in the same way for this NET, it is called, is 82%, and it costs next to nothing. 82%. Now that upsets an awful lot of people who are doing well in the current system. But I'm sorry, people are dying. Too many people.
And what NET stands for?
It's the bad words. It says neuroelectric therapy, which everybody then makes the jump that you did earlier and think it's little shocks, which it isn't. It's a flutter, and it does something quite specific. We all have endorphins and enkephalins. Endorphins and enkephalins are the natural painkillers in the brain. But when you take your drug of addiction, they stop being produced. The more fizzy and extraordinary shots of heroin or whatever you take, whatever drug you're taking, take over, and you have a high. And your body makes less of the natural painkillers. But then you take more, high, and then it makes less. And in the end, you're taking stuff just to feel normal. And that is addiction. And when you stop, it's cold turkey and horrible withdrawals. What this little device does, pulsing away, it restores you speedily to your own production of endorphins. Simple as that. And you get back. It's amazing to sit in front of somebody and watch them doing this. They just come alive. It's extraordinary.